2, don't live on an island. Education is very different today than when we started teaching. We taught only within the 4 walls of our classroom. We never even imagined speaking to, much less collaborating with, others from around the world. We were focused, heads down, nose to the grindstone. And in the process, we learned that teaching can become a very lonely profession. Worse than loneliness is the negativity that comes when we're in an environment where, even if you want to innovate and push boundaries, you feel isolated by people who aren't willing to do anything but push back. In order to do what you know is best for kids, you may begin to feel like you have to teach behind a closed door and keep your head down. That's not thriving. It's barely surviving. And that kind of repetitive, secluded existence is certainly not conducive to new ideas. Whatever the reason for the isolation, if you want to create that spark, you have to get off the island and start collaborating. The good news is that you can choose whom to connect and collaborate with, and they don't have to be within the walls of your building.
Find your people. I, Todd, was finishing my 5th year of teaching when I first got connected online. I considered myself to be a boundary pusher and an innovator, but with the boundary pushing also came isolation. I often felt like a lone wolf, constantly surrounded by rolling eyes and whispers behind my back from those who liked things the way they've always been. My assistant superintendent at the time, Troy Mooney, told me I needed to get on Twitter. I wasn't the least bit interested. Why did I need to connect with people I didn't even know? I was already running my own Facebook account. I didn't need a Twitter account, too. Plus, I didn't have time. I was teaching 75 5th graders. When would I have time to be on Twitter? But who really says no to an assistant superintendent? So I took the plunge, created my account, got everything set up, and then I just sat there. No tweeting, no participation. I just watched what others were sharing. But I did gain a new idea here and there, and even retweeted a few of them. After a while, I took what at the time felt like a brave step. I tweeted my own thoughts. I shared my own ideas. I knew I was hooked when someone favorited a tweet and someone else retweeted one of my ideas. Suddenly, I had a new and very welcome realization. Wow, someone liked what I said. Ever since that moment, I felt the power of connecting and getting off my little island at my little school in my little Texas town. I will always remember what Angela Myers told me. When you are an educator, you have brilliant ideas. And when you are not sharing your brilliant ideas, you are doing a disservice to others in the field who could and want to learn from you. So I began to connect with others, share my ideas, and even collaborate. When I began my teaching career, I never imagined I'd work with people from all over the world. But my connections via Twitter have led to opportunities for my students and me to work with students in other countries, Olympic and Paralympic athletes, White House personnel, and so many others. I made a choice to connect with people outside my island. It was scary, and initially, I had no idea what I was doing, but I had to find my people. I had to find other educators who were as passionate and restless as I was. I had to find them. Otherwise, I would have fallen by the wayside because of how lonely I felt. And that is exactly what getting off my island allowed me to do. Accomplish my purpose. It allowed me to grow as a person and as an educator, and my students reaped the benefits.